fields by electrical charges and currents. In other words, the object falls, and that's gravity's effect, is a consequence of the curvature of a four-dimensional space-time. Now, such four-dimensional space-time may be hard for us to imagine in a model of a falling object, which is the effect of the interaction between the Earth and the object. So let's go back to the question of hierarchy. Is a scientific law better than or above a theory? Definitely not. Furthermore, a theory is not a law in waiting, and it should be noted that a theory can never be upgraded to a law. Neither can a law be downgraded to a theory. In the scientific field, laws and theories are different things and have different roles to play.
At this point, I would like to say that we must also be aware of the limitations of the scientific approach. The very strength of the scientific method is also its weakness. Not all questions can be answered using the scientific approach. To illustrate, although we recognize the effect of chemicals like dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins on happiness, the why of being happy is so complex to understand. Advances in physics, especially in quantum mechanics, are now putting doubt on that age old belief that science leads to an objective perception of reality. One of the videos will feature this dilemma. To be sure, the scientific approach is not the only pathway to acquiring knowledge. The other approach, the interpretive approach, will be discussed in the latter lessons and much more detailed.
So now we go into technology and its impact on society. A banner by our very own government agency, the Department of Science and Technology, states Science for the People, a very succinct statement of the value laden mindset as regards science and technology. Science per se, as a lot of scientists would agree, exists for its own sake. Science exists for the quest of knowledge. It is the use or the application of scientific findings that usually becomes an issue. The famous saying, no man lives as an island, applies both on the sociological as well as the technological world. Individuals live in a community. Well, even hermits are not totally isolated. Any technological output will definitely impact someone, and for the most part, when technology is adopted by a society, then it impacts the society too. We now use the term society as it connotes a group with agreed upon group rules of dynamics. As such, we can say that technology is as much as for the benefit of society as it is for the good of the individual. So, what is technology? The word technology is a noun coined in the early 17th century and being derived from two words, the Greek techne, which means in English art or craft, and logia, meaning logic or reason or plan. Putting the two together, as we have a systematic treatment or plan, the art or craft of applying something, technologia, or in English, technology. Technology, then, is the application or the practical use of science and knowledge. In formal academic courses, technology is the branch of knowledge dealing with the engineering or applied sciences. The history of technology is as long and intertwined with the history of man himself. And as there are as many cultures in the world today, the history of technology is also as colorful. The history of technology for some specific cultures will be dealt more in another lesson. Western literature have identified four more or less distinct developmental stages in technological advancement. Shown here in the graph, this Stone Age was characterized by the use of tools made from wood or shards of rock. This is also the age of the discovery of fire. The next two stages were characterized by the use of metals, bronze, then iron, as the primary component in tool making. With the discovery of the advantages of metals and other compounds, a vast array of compounds became available for the manufacturing industry. Then came the Industrial Revolution and the use of machinery for mass production of goods and services. For the past few decades, we have seen the rapid rise of information and communication technology. These advances we now use or are forced to be used by us because of COVID-19. As we wrap up this session, we can now say that no one can argue against the fact that technology has made our life lighter. I have listed down a few: the ease of access to information and communication technology, the ease of movement, shelter, entertainment, natural resources, the ease to health and lifestyle services. We can have a long list on how technology made communicating with each other easier. I still remember when I was a freshman living in a dormitory in UP Diliman, I have to line up for a chance to use the single coin activated phone installed in our lobby. Now you can have an Android phone or two, a multifunctional gadget that you can use as a TV, as a cable monitor, a virtual library, a typewriter, a calculator, a camera, and a lot more. Yes, definitely life became easier for us because of technology. There is a price, however, and we are not talking about the acquisition cost. Social isolation, job loss, increased dependency on technology, decreased competency, data security and privacy, increased potential of destructive conflicts, environmental degradation, and a lot more. Perhaps we should have time to think about our use of technology, or sometimes we can look at it in terms of our excessive use of technology.
Some people say that we have to learn to slow down, that we have to get back to a more natural way of life, for whatever its worth is. Pro technology advocates, on the other hand, advocate that technology will be the answer to problems brought about by technology. Who will you follow? The path each of us will take depend on what state we perceive the world to be. Well, thank you very much for your attention. As this is a pre-recorded lecture, you can replay it again. If you have any questions or comments, I encourage you to post them in the discussion or chat forum of Canvas. You will also earn credit points by doing so. Of course, you can ask your questions or say your comments during our scheduled online class meetings. And remember also to do your assignments. These two are graded and must be submitted on time. For your next module, we will discuss the nature of knowledge generation and its place in intellectual revolution.